So how does yoga help during labor, and more specifically, how did it help me during my first labor? By the way, I'm Juliette from luluyoga.eu, and I'm a certified prenatal and postnatal yoga teacher, and I help moms and future moms feel supported, strong and radiant during their pregnancy and afterwards. So in this video, I will explain to you my personal experience. I was not actually a yoga teacher yet, and I did not move that much during my first pregnancy. I think I paid the price of that mostly after giving birth. So my postpartum journey was a bit longer, and it took me 3 years to regain that confidence in my body, lose the weight and all that. But I will talk about this later, because for the rest, my labor went pretty smoothly. So it only lasted something like two or 2.5 hours. And I remember the midwife telling me, "Are you doing some yoga or something?" And I said, "Well, kind of. I used to practice. I did a lot of meditation, but not so much during pregnancy." And she told me, "Yeah, well, that was enough. And I think that's what really helped you during labor." And she was right. I only learned that afterwards when I became a certified prenatal yoga teacher, and I'm going to explain to you why right now. So the first thing that the first skill that we acquire by doing yoga regularly is the control of the breath. So by practicing vinyasa yoga, even though it wasn't every day or even every week, I've learned how to move with each inhale and exhale. So it's something that you hear a lot during vinyasa practice. Inhale, do this, exhale, do that. So when I had to push, when I was in labor, naturally I was breathing calmly and I was controlling my inhales and exhales. Something that is not that easy when you have never done yoga, because it's not something just to be aware of your breath. It's something quite new for most people who never practiced yoga. So this really helped me, and I think that the midwife could hear and could tell, and definitely it helped. Also, I was able to be calm, to let go, and to trust. So I think that's mostly due to the meditations I've practiced, because this I did. I did a lot of meditation during my pregnancy, and being able to be in the moment, to be present, and to let go of everything else, expectations and whatnot. I think I was able to do that thanks to my yoga practice and meditation. Also, the movement helped me so much. So this I heard about before labor. I've been told that in order for the pelvic outlet to have more space and to move freely, and for the baby to find the way out, it's really good to move around and not to stay laying down on a bed. So basically, for as long as I could, I was walking around. I had my yoga mat, and I was just doing poses randomly because I didn't know what I was doing. But because I did practice yoga beforehand, I was kind of knowing what I was doing. So I was moving my hips a lot, and it really helped me during like painful contractions. I remember that one time when she asked me to lay down on the bed to check the opening of the cervix, and that was horrible. That was the most terrible few seconds, just because she asked me to lay down and not to be able to move, really made the contraction so much worse. So I really could compare from one contraction to another how much movement really helped me to ease the pain. I mean, it was always painful, of course. It's still labor, and I was without epidural, so of course it was painful, but so much less when I was free to move. So movement really helped. And I think also I had some body awareness that really helped me, you know. So, and also I think it's meditation and yoga together that really helped me. I mean, yoga, meditation is part of yoga. Yoga is part of it's always the same thing. But being able to understand what was going on when I was pushing, instead of just overwhelming pain, it was more of, okay, I'm aware of what I'm doing, you know, I'm aware of this pain, what it actually is. It's my baby going outside, it's my uterus contracting and pushing my baby out of my body, you know, and just concentrating on that and being aware of what the pain was exactly really helped me. And I think it's partly due to meditation, partly due to what the midwives told me, but that was I think a huge help, especially when I talk to birth experience with my friends. I have a very close friend who told me that the first time, her first pregnancy, it was very overwhelming. Everything, she was not in control, and everything was really hard, and the pain was much worse due to this chaos, you know. So when you feel in control and when you feel like you know what's happening, it really helps. And it actually leads me to my next point, is to control. So I know I've talked about letting go, and I think that's the best thing to do in the moment. But in advance, beforehand, and I've been told that, and actually helped me, try and prepare and be in control. So you don't have to have a super specific birth plan. It depends on your personality. But if you feel like you need to prepare every single details or all the what if, up to you. But the most important thing is that when you enter the birthing room, or if you're home or whatever, you feel safe and you feel like you've decided how you want things to go. So you didn't go to the hospital because you've been told it's safer, but you prefer to do it at home. Well, this is the kind of feeling that you don't want to start labor with, this frustration, you know. So home can be safe, hospital can be safe. You have to talk about it with your midwives and doctors, but as long as you feel in control, that's very important. So prepare, like make sure that everybody know what you want, especially if you have a doula, if your partner is with you, or midwife, if they know what you want and don't want, and they will advocate for you if you're not able to take a decision in the moment. That's very important, because you won't have the capacity or the mind space to take a decision in that moment. And things might not go as planned, and they usually don't go as planned, but at least you trust the people around you to take the decisions according to what you would have wanted, and that's very important. So be in control, feel safe, but in the moment, let go and trust. I think that's the best advice that I could be giving you. And so the one thing I wish I knew, and I didn't do, was being able to build stamina during pregnancy. So because I didn't move so much during my first pregnancy, I didn't because I wanted to do some yoga, I wanted to do some sport, but there was so much misinformation out there and contradictory, and it was overwhelming. So when laziness kicked in, it was kind of easier to just say, okay, I'm just not going to move and I'm just going to stay like this, you know. So that's what I did. And during my second pregnancy, so right now I'm actually still pregnant, I've moved a lot more, because in between I became a yoga teacher and a prenatal yoga teacher, so I knew what was safe and what wasn't. And well, what I can say is that this pregnancy I'm much more mobile and have got a lot more energy, much less pain. I mean, there's a lot of advantages to move during pregnancy. But the experience that I will share later is my postpartum journey, and I hope, but I know that it's going to be much easier than the first time, because the first time I did, like, my muscles were much less and much weaker because of 9 months of not doing much, right? So of course it's even harder to recover from labor, which is already very traumatizing for the body. So I know that by moving regularly during pregnancy is going to help me during my postpartum. But we're talking about labor, and during labor I was talking about movement, you know. So I had a chance to give birth in a bathtub, so I can move around a lot. But the thing that you need the most is stamina, right? So if you want to stay in a malasana, so in a yogi squat to give birth, it's one of the best positions to help the baby out. But it's hard to maintain this pose. It's hard because you need strength and you're already really weak, weakened by the contractions, by the pain, by, you don't know how it depends how long you've been there, but you get really tired. So the more you build strength and stamina during pregnancy, the easier it's going to be to keep up with labor demand in terms of energy and strength. So I think that's the last tip that I can give, and that I didn't do during my first pregnancy. I wish I knew. So there you go. So thank you so much for listening. And I've actually done a birth guide toolkit. So it's a small guide. It's a PDF, and it's absolutely free. And you can download it on my website. So I'm just going to put the link below, but the website is luluyoga.eu. And you just go on free guide and you can download the guide. So I really encourage you to have this guide on the day of labor, but especially during your third trimester, there are a few movements, a few tips that you want to know beforehand. So if you have any poses that you wonder is safe during pregnancy or even during labor, don't hesitate to leave a comment and I'd love to make a video about it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.